make it last forever? That's right. That's our topic today on Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. I would like to welcome you to my show, and I'm looking forward to sharing the information that I learned from some really key people that have been in relationships for a while, and based on some of the information that I have, being that I do marriage counseling, premarital counseling, and relationship workshops, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my insight, and you're also going to hear from a beautiful person who has been in two relationships that have been 10 and 12 years long, and the second one is her second marriage, and she's going to share with us on how she helps her relationship to be successful, her and her husband. So stay tuned, you're going to want to hear that. We're going to get ready to show you a little bit of the footage from me filming my blog talk radio show, Real Talk with Rhonda Knight, and you can hear for yourself some of the comments, and we'll pick up from there. Okay, enjoy.
So, as you know, the show subject and topic today is, how do you make it last forever? How do you make it last forever? Once you find that right person, that right woman for you, or that right man for you, what is the key? What is the secret of how to make it last forever? And I definitely want to hear back from you. So please call in. Again, the number is 516-453-9217. You guys got to excuse me. I got a little sore throat going on, so I may sound a little nasally, but it's okay. We're going to push through anyway, right? That's how we do things. In the meantime, I want to make sure you guys look out for Blessed to Travel to the Best. Blessed to Travel to the Best, of course, is the other channel that I do, and that's giving you the opportunity to follow me as I travel across the country and experience some of the different things. I'm also going to let you know about the fun things you can do at those destinations, and also the nice places to eat or nice places to stay. Whatever I experience, I want to share with you, or whatever I think is pretty cool, I want to share with you too. The other fun thing with it as well is that I'm going to give you fun facts about all the places I travel to. So be sure to look for that video coming out, Blessed to Travel to the Best, with your host, none other than Rhonda Knight. All righty. So while we're waiting on our first caller, I do want to share a couple of things with you. You know, one of the things that I think is awesome about, you know, having a long-lasting relationship, one of the things that I think is a key, from my opinion, is to be able to have, number one, good communication with each other, back and forth, and to be a good listener, because a lot of times, you know, it's one thing to dialogue, but being a good listener helps you to be able to dialogue more accurately, I'll say it that way. And so, of course, being a good listener, being a supportive person to that mate that you're with. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago, that when you're in a relationship, if you take the time to do what it takes to make your mate happy, and they're taking the time to do what it takes to make you happy, then you're both being unselfish, number one, and you're doing the key things that brings joy to that other partner. And so you can't help but have a successful relationship when you get involved like that, when you commit to each other that way. So I think that's one of the key facts, what I believe, in having a relationship that lasts forever. And just finding new things to do in your relationship as well. Excuse me. Finding new fun things that, you know, you might love to enjoy together, something you haven't done before, and just doing what it takes to be happy. You know, life is too short. And so when you find that special person, why not take the time to make it the best that you can? Give your all, and hopefully that other person will be giving their all as well, you know, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. Sometimes when we're in a relationship, we think, oh, this person does this wrong, they do that wrong. Oh, they're okay with this, you know, I'm good with that, with what they do, you know, we're great there. But when they do this, this really upsets me. And, you know, it can be the littlest thing. So my point is that, you know, let's stop always pointing the finger when in a relationship, if you take the time to look at yourself and really examine yourself, and that's one thing that people do not like to do. It's so easy to say, oh, he's not doing this or she's not doing that. But when you point that finger back at yourself, what are the things that you could do to improve in your relationship? So I think that's another key, is to look at yourself and see what it takes, from where you're coming from, what it takes to give your best. Like, where do you need to improve? How can I make myself better in this relationship? Not just one person, because if one person is doing that and the other person is not, you're not going to have success, of course. So it takes two people to be committed to say, hey, let me look at myself and let me see what I can do to improve, and then really, really work towards that goal of making yourself better so you can be the best mate for your partner. That's just some of the advice that I think about and that I want to share with you. One of the key things, like I said, in making it last forever is just having understanding as well. Having an understanding of the person that you're with. One of the books that I think is very, very helpful in relationships is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. It's an excellent book to read, because I think most people, if you haven't read that book, you don't realize that there are different love languages that people talk. There could be the, language of affirmation, where you need someone to tell you, hey, you're beautiful. Hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, affirmation to build that person up. And that could be that person's love language that makes them feel special and loved. The other, there's 5 different love languages. And then sometimes we have bilingual love languages. But I would say to you, get that book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. You can get it, of course, anywhere. He's a person who people use his books in marriage counseling and premarital counseling, and I do premarital counseling and marriage counseling, and not only myself, but there are other people who use his books as well. Ministries use it because it really is a good book. It helps you to understand that you may not be talking the same language. Your husband or your mate may be feeling that his love language is the fact that he goes out and he provides for you and he takes care of the home, and he's a great provider. And even though he's doing that, he can't understand why you don't feel loved. But to you, that's not showing love. You're showing love may be that you need to have quality time together. So, again, it's a great book to read if you want to be the best that you can be in your relationship. And I think that's also another great key, too, is that find books or motivational material that talks about relationships and how to become the best you in that relationship. And that's putting in the time and effort to do it, what it takes to have a successful relationship. These are things that I think that can make a long-lasting relationship. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know.
Hello, this is Tyrene.
Hey, Tyrene. Yay, so you got my text. I told you guys she'd be on the air. Tyrene, welcome to Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. And Tyrene, tell me, I want to talk about your event that's coming up. And I kind of want to talk about it right after you tell me what your thoughts are on how to make it last forever in a relationship, because I want that to be the last thing they remember. So what do you do? I know you've been in a relationship how long now?
I'm on my second marriage, and we've been together 12 years, married for 8.
All right. Well, what are some of the key facts that helps your relationship to stay strong?
Slow down. One of the things that we both learned with dealing with each other, especially when working through conflict, is to take that breather. And if it's something with my husband, if it's something I really want him to get, raising my voice or being agitated won't help him get it. So I start off with, this makes me feel like when you do this. And that grabs his attention.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's
good.
the
number one thing that helps us.
Okay, slow down and then make it clear what bothers you by making it plain how you state it. So did you have to learn to be that way with your husband, or do you think that in your second marriage, it just you knew the things that you didn't want to do from the first marriage, or how did you get to that point of knowing that would work for you too?
It's one thing to know what you don't want to go through, but it's something completely different to be able to understand how not to go through that. And so we had to take a course offered by a lot of different area churches, but it's called Radical Love. And it lasts 13 weeks, and at the end is a graduation ceremony, but it's a class that helps us to be able to understand that I didn't marry a 40-year-old man when we got married, and he didn't marry a 35-year-old woman. He married a 6-year-old child, and I married a 10-year-old child, because you marry into whatever bruises or pains or hurt. You marry into that marinade. And that's what helped me understand how to work through conflict, how to not repeat the same issues that I had before.
Okay, yeah. And that makes sense. So one of the things I was talking to our listeners about before you called in, too, is that I think it's very important to do different things, whether it's going to, like, the classes you guys did, or, reading books like The 5 Love Languages, or doing what it takes to make a relationship work. And when you have two people together that's willing to take that time to invest in their relationship, then I think that's one of the keys to success. And evidently that's something that's worked for the two of you, so that's good to hear.
And I have to say one thing, and we didn't get this from Radical. I got this actually from a book that I read. But one thing that did help us, and a lot of couples don't do this, you agree that you like each other, you agree that the love is there, but you, prior to going into marriage, you don't ask the question of, what does marriage mean to you? What type of marriage do you want? Because if we have different definitions of the type of marriage that we agree on, then we're not going to make it. So that helps us to be successful. Yes.
Well, you know what? I think you have some great advice, and I can see why you have a strong relationship. And people, I hope you're out there listening, because Tyrene is giving some really, really awesome advice. And again, it's in order to be successful, you've got to put in the time, and you have to do the things that make a difference. And communication, that was one of the things I said in the very beginning. Communication is important. Like she said, you have to know what you're expecting from your marriage or from your relationship on both parts. So you both go into there saying, okay, I know she's looking for this, or I know he's looking for that. And then you work towards those goals. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I think that if that person is doing what it takes to make you happy and you're doing what it takes to make them happy, then you're both unselfishly making an effort to have a successful relationship. You agree?
I agree. One last thing I want to add. We carefully planned our wedding. We planned everything from the colors to the venue to the food. Did not take the time to plan the marriage. So important. Have that conversation. Yes. What are our goals? What do we want in this marriage? What are we striving for? Because it takes way more than love. There's a lot of people that get divorced and love each other. You have to plan for the marriage and make a goal every year. What are we hoping to do this year? So just wanted to add that.
I love it, and that's so true. Those are important things, and the fact that like you said, people do put a lot of time in their wedding. When you're getting ready to get married, you're doing your food, the venue, the guests, and everything, and you're so focused on that. But the key thing, in order to have a successful marriage, is to focus on what we're going to achieve in this marriage. What is our goals? What are we going to work towards? What are your needs? What are my needs? And work towards those things.
Well, how do you make it last forever? We've gave you some great pointers, and hopefully this will help you in your relationship as you go forward. And then share this information too with some of your friends and family members, your kids, whomever you want to share it with, so that you can help them be successful in their relationships as well. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. And as you guys heard, our next show for next week is going to be about, are you ready for this? Do you believe in aliens and UFOs? If you do, I'd love to hear your opinion. If you don't, I want to hear it as well. I'm going to share with you my thoughts on that subject matter, and we're going to go from there. But, like I said, with Real Talk with Rhonda Knight, you don't know when I'm going to switch up. You don't know what my topic is going to be. But the only way you can find out is to stay tuned and always connect with us. All right, listen to my people out there who are very supportive of what I'm doing. I really appreciate you. But I want to remind you, please don't forget to follow me on Facebook as well as hit like. Now, if you're already following me, share my videos with some of your friends and on your social medias and on your pages, and so that they can join in the fun and give their comments on my topics as well. So if you've already started following me, make sure you share these videos now. Let's get it out there. Okay, guys, I appreciate the support. And then if you're following me on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Real Talk with Rhonda Knight, you want to make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and then also hit that notification bell. Once you hit subscribe, it'll pop up and you'll see it right there. And you can tap on that, and that'll notify you every time that I have a new video coming out. So be sure to do that as well, and hit like. Got it? Thank you so much. And again, also with my YouTube channel, make sure that you share it with your friends as well, so we can build up our following there too. There's many social medias that we're on, guys, and I appreciate you sending out that link or sharing it on your other social medias and with your other family and friends. I appreciate your support, and I hope you enjoy my show. I really enjoy doing it for you and with you, and I look forward every week to your comments. So continue to get those comments out there, even if they're just in the remarks. I appreciate those, but even for those who call in as well. So thank you so much. As I mentioned on the radio show, I do want to give a special shout out and also recognition to Evangelist Tyreen Brown, and she's at Tabernacle Praise Church in Lawrenceville. I want to thank you for the efforts and the things that you do to make a difference for survivors. I appreciate your testimony. It was amazing, and I'm so thankful to God that you're here. Keep doing the great work. And guys, if you need support in the Gwinnett County area, reach out and become a part of this group. It's a nice group of young women, or women, I should say, supporting each other, because we know what it's like to be a survivor. And sadly, there's been a lot of us who are out there who have survived some type of violence, dating violence, domestic violence, violent crimes, like in my situation, or rape, or whatever your situation is. And there's a lot of different forms of abuse, as you know, from mental abuse to verbal abuse to financial abuse. So many different ways that people can abuse another person. So if you've dealt with some of that and you just need some support, be sure to reach out to Evangelist Tyreen Brown. And as I mentioned too on my radio show, to Gwinnett Public Libraries, especially Denise and Diane, thank you so much for your support that you give to me as an international author and motivational speaker. And thank you for all that you did for the last weekend when I did an event there through the Society of Children Book Writers and Illustrators. As I said before, guys, I am a local liaison for the Gwinnett County area. If you're a children's book writer or illustrator, you can reach out to me if you're in the Gwinnett County area, and I can get you information to get involved with being a part of the Society of Children Book Writers and Illustrators. And again, this is a nationwide organization, so anyone listening to the show, if you're interested in being a part of it, go check it out. Check out their main website, standing for Society of Children Book Writers and Illustrators, and become a part of it. It's a great organization. Now also, guys, I do have an event coming up. I have been honored to be featured as one of the indie authors coming up for an event that's October 12th, and I will be at the Grayson Library in Gwinnett County along with other indie authors that have been featured, or that are featured as well. So come out and join me there from 1 to 3 o'clock, and I'd love to meet you. And again, you can buy my books, Blessed Survivor, and any of my children's books that we have available as well. So look forward to that, and hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you. Make sure you tell me that you watch Real Talk with Rhonda Knight. I love to chat with you. Love to see you then. And as I mentioned before, guys, if you're in a relationship, do whatever it takes to make your relationship successful. I know you can do it. I believe in you. And put forth that effort to show, hey, this is important to me, just like we would do with anything else we care about. Let's make an effort, an extra effort, to have a successful relationship. I want you to make it last forever. Well, someone told me I should mention this to you, so I guess I will in this episode. I am available for speaking engagements. If you're interested in having me come to your event or your facility or your organization to speak or to do a book signing, you can look up my information at bookRhondaKnight.com. There you'll find my bio and the different things I've done. And I can also speak on whatever subject matter that you have in mind, as long as it's something appropriate, of course, and something that will motivate, encourage, inspire, or uplift someone. So if you're interested in having me to do an event for you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Simply email me at Rhonda@realtalkwithrhondaknight.com, and I'll be glad to get back with you. Thank you so much, and I would be honored to come and be a part of your event. I know it's going to be great. Okay, well, guys, thank you for being patient with the fact that I have been sick for 2 weeks and getting over it now. I mean, really, actually, probably when I finish filming, I'll be popping a lot of medication and everything to keep me going for the rest of the evening. But I don't like taking medication, but I have been really, really going through, guys. So thank you for being patient with the fact that I'm just getting this video out to you. And then right after that, you'll be getting the next video. So, well, hey, you got a double feature. How about that? And so again, also look for Blessed to Travel to the Best with Rhonda Knight. You're going to love that. That's coming out as well in a few days. And thank you for being patient with me, guys. And thank you for all those who sent up a little prayer for me as I was overcoming whatever I'm dealing with right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will see you on my next show. Have a blessed one.
Yeah. She's a blessed survivor. Real talk. An author. Rhonda Knight.